What's up? Welcome back to Cryptographics. In this video, I'm going to show you very briefly just a basic overview of everything to do with TitanX, how to come to this UI or this user interface here, and how to work everything you need to know on a basic level about mining, staking, the payouts, buy and burn, and how to look at the stats even, and what this all means. So let's get right into it. So when you come to the website here, which is app.titanx.win, and I'm going to have all the links, which is the only one really here, for this video in the description. So if you haven't already been to the website, go check this out. The first thing you're going to do when you come here is see this mine page. So what is this? Well, in order to actually create TitanX yourself and not just buy it off the market, which I'll explain in a bit why it's important to understand this, is that you need Ethereum. And you're going to use your Ethereum to create TitanX. So when you come here, you can do a single miner, which can be for anywhere from 1 to 280 days in length. And you also have this power thing here, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But what happens is when you change the days, I want you to watch the TitanX over here on the corner or the top right here and how much that increases or decreases. So 280 days gives you 1.5 billion. If I delete a 0, all of a sudden now I'm only getting 214 million. And if I go down to 2 days, I'm only getting 15 million. And as you can see, there's a bunch of stats here. So the cost of the miner, so the ETH to start the miner, in this case is 0.2. And this is where I'm going to talk about miner power. So this section right here called miner power, it says 100 currently. What I want you to think about is there is a maximum amount you can spend on a single miner in ETH and a minimum amount. If you are using the power section here and you're in 100, you're going to spend the maximum amount that you can for one single miner. And if you are at 1, you're at the minimum, which is 0.002 ETH, again, versus 0.2047 ETH. So if you were to take off 1 0, you're going to be down to 0.02. So you can think about it as percentage of 1% versus 100% in terms of the maximum that you can actually use in ETH for a single miner. Now, what you're also going to see here is if I go, let's make this 100, and let's say I did this as a 280 day, what you're going to see here is there's a crazy ROI. It says 2,700%, value of the miner is 11,850. What this means is that if the market price of Titan were to be the same today as it will be in 280 days, you would see this ROI. Now, the way this is done is, I'm not going to do the math here, but if you were to divide the cost of this miner, so $422, and you would divide it by the amount of TitanX that you're getting from your miner, you're going to get the cost, like the purchase price, if you will, at which you essentially bought into TitanX. And because it's so low in comparison to the market price, that means that the market price is 2,700% higher than your buy-in price. So that's what that means. And if you go lower in days in length, down to 28, well, the ROI gets much lower. And the reason for this is because you're still spending the same amount, but because you've shrunk the length of time you're spending on mining, you are now getting less tokens. So what happens is when you divide the same dollar value by obviously a lesser value, you're going to get a higher number, right? So that means that the price that you're purchasing in on, the cost basis, if you will, for your purchase price is closer to the Titan market price. The TitanX market price is 300% higher than your miner price at 28 days. And you can even take a Google Sheets or an Excel, and you can just type in the cost of your ETH, so 422 divided by 214 million, or if you're going to go for a max length one, whatever the number is there, just divide that. You're going to get your cost, and then you can compare that to this guy here, okay? So that's how to do a single miner. That's why you want to do a single miner for any length. Now, we're not talking about the game theory or any specifics on why you'd want to do longer, what makes the most sense. It's not what this video is about. So we're just going to keep it simple here. And the second step is if you want to spend more than 0.2 ETH to start a miner, right? What you're going to do is you're going to go to what's called batch create miners here. The second tab on the mine section. And now what you can do is you can do the exact same thing we were doing before. So you get the miner length, of course, it's length of time, the power from 0.2 all the way down to 0.002 ETH to mine. But now you can do more than one miner, and you can go all the way, I believe it's all the way up to 100 miners at max power, or basically 100 miners at any length, any power that you choose. Okay, now, of course, the ETH cost is going to go up to the same amount of the value. So if you're doing 100 miners and they're 0.2 each, well, yeah, of course, it's going to be about 20 ETH to do this, but you can get a whole lot of miners done in one transaction. And yes, the cost of the transaction is going to reflect the fact that you're doing more miners than just one, but this is a way to, I believe it's a little more gas efficient, and it gets you all done in one transaction. So it's not going to take you 100 transactions to do this, which is super nice. Now, when you have come down here and you do have your miners going, you're going to see the length of time, you're going to see the start date and the end date, which is great. What's really cool too is you're going to notice, you're going to see these numbers right in the middle here that are going to start showing up, and you're going to see them increasing. Now, this is your T rank bonus. What that means is that the point where you create your miners, anyone that comes in after you, depending on the power of their miner, like 1 to 100, you'll get a certain amount of bonus TitanX per person, per miner that comes in after you. And because we're still really early, we're still only 30 days into this protocol, who knows? If this thing goes really, really well, you could see a lot of T rank bonuses coming in, and that could help your TitanX, your mineable TitanX numbers increase by a lot. And from there, that's the only real main thing you need to understand that's not self-explanatory, like ROI, value, cost. It's all going to be here. You're going to see that. But the T rank bonus is the only interesting thing that really you need to know about this bottom section here. The other part is if we go to claimable miners, you can actually batch claim up to 100 at a time, similar to how you mined up to 100 at a time in the batch create miner section here. So super useful. You don't have to do multi transactions. You can do it all at once. And then if you wanted to see your transaction history for the miners, you could then come down here and check out everything, the ROI, the T rank bonus, the total claim, the whole 9 yards. It'll give you all the data you need right here. So that pretty much sums up the miner section. Again, it's just you need some ETH, and you need to come in here and choose the amount of days and how much ETH you want to spend. Really, if you only have 0.02 ETH, well, maybe you want to do, you're only going to be able to do 10 power and so on. So this is the miner section. Now let's go on to the staking section, because when you get your TitanX at the end of your miner, you're going to have an option to stake it if you like. And when you do that, you have a minimum and a maximum of the days you can stake your TitanX. So let's say we had 1 billion TitanX, and let's go over to the calculator here, just so I can show you guys this very quickly, because sometimes this site doesn't like to work and show you the numbers within this. So we got to go over to under tools here at the top. We're going to click on tools, go to calculator, and we're going to go to TitanX staking. We're going to add a few extra zeros here. And now what you're going to be able to see, you're going to be able to see what you're going to get when you stake. So you're going to see your TitanX value over here. You're going to see the effective share rate, all your shares, including all the bonuses, which I'm not going to get into the details here at this moment in time. I'm going to save that for another video. But just know that if you stake sooner, you get a little bit of a better share rate. It's kind of like the Hex system, where there is the share rate that's always climbing, and it's kind of like a difficulty factor for gaining portion of the pool. And so that's always going to be going up. And so obviously there's a longer pays better bonus, which I believe is up to 350%. And so you obviously want to take advantage of that, but there's reasons why, and maybe for another video, I'll talk about that. So minimum stake length is 28 days versus 3,500. If you decide for 3,500, what you're going to, or any of these, what you're going to notice is there's a bunch of numbers here. It says the next 8-day payout, the next 28-day payout, 90-day, 369, 888-day payout. And you have a bunch of numbers here that are coming up. So this is what happens when you stake TitanX. You don't get paid in TitanX, you get paid in ETH. And so what happens is when we go back to stake here, you're going to see your stakes come up, and it's the same deal as the miners where you can go claimable and you can claim your stakes. But what happens is because you're staked, you get yield, right? Like that's why you're staking. So if you come up here to the Payouts tab and you scroll down just a little, you'll be able to see if you have claimable ETH payouts up here. Now, why that is because the system is designed so every single 8 days, that means in 2 days from now, or I guess it would be on day 32 of the protocol, depending on when you're watching this, in the next 26 days so every single 8 days, every 28 days, every 90, every 369, and every 888 days, there are payouts that occur within the system. And as you can see here, the next 8-day payout has 371,000 in it. The 28-day payout has 242,000. And that's actually really interesting because the last payout was 1.5 million for the first 28-day payout. And it's already back up to 242,000. So as you can see, the next 90-day payout is 1.1 million, basically 1.2. The 369-day payout is 1.2 million. And the 888 is 520,000. So you don't have to go and claim all these. These will automatically show up and build up in this section here to the point where it actually makes sense to spend however much it is on gas to claim this. And then you can go and you can click this no payout claimable yet is what it says here, but it will show up as claim ETH. You can go ahead, click claim. It'll bring up the transaction. You'll be able to claim your ETH. And then you have options. I mean, you can take some profit. You could then maybe go and start some more miners. Maybe you think it's a good idea to go buy it on the market. You can do whatever you want with it, but then it's in your wallet. Maybe it'll help you pay for your miners when you claim them at the end or end your stakes or whatever. But that's the cool thing about Titan is you don't earn more Titan by staking. You actually earn more ETH, which then you can use to go back into the system if you like. So that's the mining. That's the staking. And the one thing I want to say about staking and mining is there is no early end for the miners. There's no early end for the stakers, but there is on the staking side of things, penalties. So you want to be diligent and end these things as soon as they are done. I believe you have a 7-day grace period and then it quickly starts taking penalties away. So please be diligent and make sure that when you are starting stakes, if you decide to, that you are ending them on time because these penalties will take massive bites out of your TitanX principal very quickly. So now we come to, there's a couple more sections here. So what I'll do is I'll go over these very quickly. I'll talk about the buy and burn. So the buy and burn is a part of the protocol that is designed to take 62% of all the ETH that comes in here through the protocol for mining. And it basically goes towards buying and burning TitanX off the market. So it buys up TitanX as if a buyer is doing it, pushing up the price a little bit, and then it burns the TitanX from existence forever. And in a moment, I'm going to show you the stats just so you can see where all this is. But this function here is not callable by the founder. Well, it's callable by the founder just in the same way that it's callable by you or I. You and I could come in here, click this button, and we could trigger the buy and burn, which will then go and buy currently 0.82 ETH here. And it's callable around every 5 minutes. Currently in the buy and burn balance, there's $1.7 million in this buy and burn waiting to slowly buy up the price. And there's also a guardian angel, which I would highly recommend watching my stream with the founder to understand why this is there. V2 is the decentralized version where anyone calls it. Okay. And what's been happening is when we go to the more section, go down to stats, what we're going to see here is the liquid supply. We're going to see the TitanX staked supply, and we're going to see the TitanX burned through the buy and burn. And this is where things get really cool. So I would highly recommend you coming here and checking out the numbers. There's almost 42% have been bought and burned. There's just over 42% of Titan staked, and there's only about 15.5% of the total TitanX supply liquid at the moment. And these are pretty cool stats. And you'll be able to come here and watch all of these grow and move and see how the system is kind of working out. But this is the basic overview for TitanX. You come to app.titanx.win. You mine your Titan. Once your miners are done, you then have the option to stake or hold it liquid, do whatever you want with it. And if you stake, you get some of the payouts, which you earn in ETH, which you can then go ahead and use to start more miners possibly, or do whatever you like. Maybe pay for gas fees or anything like that. It's really that simple, guys. I would highly recommend if you want a more technical and detailed breakdown of this all, like I mentioned previously, I have a stream that is about 3-4 days old now, but I did it with the founder, and it's an awesome stream. We go into extreme detail talking about a lot of advanced concepts, and if you want to evolve your awareness of what you can do within the system, I'd highly recommend you go and watch that video. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to learn from me directly, I have links in the description to one-on-one calls if you want me to help you out understand how to best utilize this system. If not, no worries. I also have a book on Amazon. I have a free ebook on my website. And if you have any questions at all, you can email me at the link in the description. And I'll probably have a blog up on TitanX fairly soon. So be on the lookout for any one of those if you're interested. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.